Trump's outrage. Hawley and the insider trading bill explained. Imagine a world where politicians use their power to enrich themselves rather than serving the people who elected them. Unfortunately, this is a reality that many Americans face today. And it's a problem that President Trump is all too familiar with. But here's where it gets interesting. Trump recently lashed out at one of his closest allies in Congress, Senator Josh Hawley, over a bill that would ban stock trading by lawmakers, presidents, and vice presidents. The bill, which was voted on in committee, would prevent congressional lawmakers and their spouses from trading stocks, as well as presidents and vice presidents, although the latter would only apply to future administrations. And this is the part most people miss. The bill's intentions may be good, but its implications are far more complex. Trump's issue with the bill stems from the fact that Hawley, a Republican, teamed up with Democrats to advance the measure, with Hawley being the lone Republican on the panel to vote with Democrats 8-7 to advance the bill out of committee. But what's really going on here? Is Hawley being used by Democrats to target Trump, or is he simply trying to do what's right? Trump certainly thinks it's the former, claiming that Hawley is playing into the dirty hands of Democrats. In a social media post, Trump questioned Hawley's decision, saying, "Why would one Republican, Senator Josh Hawley from the great state of Missouri, join with all of the Democrats to block a review sponsored by Senator Rick Scott and with the support of almost all other Republicans of Nancy Pelosi's stock trading over the last 25 years?" He also pointed out that the information was released just minutes before the vote, which he likened to sabotage. But here's the thing. Earlier in the day, Trump had actually expressed support for the bill, saying he liked it conceptually. However, he quickly launched into an attack on former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, claiming that she should be investigated for insider trading. Pelosi has come under fire from Republicans for stock trading done by her husband, although there is no evidence of wrongdoing. In fact, Pelosi has since expressed support for the measure, which has left many wondering what's really going on. Before the vote, Senator Rick Scott had pressed Hawley to work with him to improve the bill, but Hawley and Senator Gary Peters expanded the ban to apply to the president and vice president for future administrations, while also dropping the name that referred to Pelosi from the bill name. Trump's response to this was scathing, saying that Hawley was being used by Democrats to target him. The Democrats, because of our tremendous achievements and success, have been trying to target me for a long period of time, and they're using Josh Hawley, who I got elected twice, as a pawn to help them, he said. But is this really the case, or is Trump just trying to deflect attention from his own potential wrongdoing? One thing's for sure, this controversy has sparked a lot of debate, and it's leaving many Americans wondering what's really going on in Washington. So, we have to ask, do you think Hawley is being used by Democrats, or is he simply trying to do what's right? Do you support the bill, or do you think it's just a way for politicians to cover their own tracks? Let us know in the comments. And this is the question that will keep you up at night. What if our politicians are using their power to enrich themselves, rather than serving the people who elected them? It's a scary thought, but it's one that we need to consider. As we move forward, it's essential that we hold our politicians accountable and demand transparency. Only then can we ensure that our government is truly working for the people, rather than just the powerful and wealthy. Congressional stock trading ban. What you need to know. Here's a bombshell that's been brewing in Washington. A long-awaited ban on stock trading for members of Congress has finally cleared a major hurdle. But it's stirring up controversy in ways you might not expect. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about lawmakers anymore. On Wednesday, the Senate Homeland Security and Government Affairs Committee advanced the HONEST Act, a bill that not only prohibits members of Congress and their spouses from trading stocks while in office, but also extends this ban to the president and vice president. Yes, you read that right. Even the highest offices could be affected, though not until after President Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance leave office. But here's where it gets controversial. Senator Josh Hawley, RMO, the bill's sponsor, insists the White House didn't push back on this provision. despite media reports suggesting otherwise. Hawley told Fox News Digital he never received any such feedback from the administration, adding, "Certainly not from Trump." Meanwhile, Trump himself has offered cautious support, saying he conceptually likes the idea, but needs to study it further. His comments come with a jab at House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, whom he accused of profiting from insider information, a claim that's sure to spark debate. The bill's journey hasn't been smooth. Hawley faced sharp criticism from his Republican colleagues during the markup process, with some accusing him of negotiating with Democrats while keeping his own party in the dark. Senator Bernie Moreno, R. Ohio, a former co-sponsor of Hawley's earlier Pelosi Act, expressed frustration, saying, "I have no idea what we're voting for." Senator Rick Scott, R. Fla, one of Congress's wealthiest members, questioned the very premise of the bill, asking, "When did making money become a negative in this country?" Hawley fired back, drawing a clear line. "I don't mind anyone being rich. I mind people getting rich while they're here and trading stocks." His stance highlights a growing divide within the GOP, as House Republicans are pushing their own version of the ban, one that notably excludes the president and vice president. So what does this mean for the future? If passed, lawmakers would have 180 days to comply, with newly elected officials facing the same deadline. But the bigger question lingers. Is this a step toward restoring public trust in government, or does it go too far? And should the president and vice president be held to the same standards as Congress? Let us know what you think in the comments. This is one debate that's far from over.